Baby, it's back. Back again. Alright, so I hit up a flea market with my buddy Ryan. Actually, I think we hit up a couple of different flea markets in Muncie, Indiana about a week ago, 2 weeks ago. And I just been busy with some of the sports card stuff on my channel. I hadn't got to this, but I wanted to make sure I showed off this lot of DVDs and Blu-rays. Everything you see here, I got for $1 a piece, I believe. There may be a couple. No, I think everything's $1. So that being said, let's get right into it. This is a special collector's edition of Reservoir Dogs in the actual gas can. Now it has it's been busted at the bottom, and that's why they sold it for $1. But this is pretty desirable. It's a special collector's edition box, or what do you want to call it? Like limited edition collector's edition of the 10. It's pretty rare. You don't see it too often. Now they made the Reservoir Dogs in 15 different variations. Since I don't know the beginning of DVD. So there's all kinds of variations out there. But I think this is probably one of the most unique. It's not very expensive, but I already had this, so this is more probably for a resale. But the cool thing is, if I can show it here, it's supposed to be a pack of matches. The DVD's in what looks like a pack of matches. So there you go, a matchbook. As I'm throwing things on the ground, so I'll just throw it on the ground for now. How you like that? Next up is Rise of the Planet of the Apes. A huge Planet of the Apes fan with the slipcover. So that's a big deal. So I love this movie. I actually introduced this movie to my son just a couple weeks ago for the first time. I actually already have this, so this is another one probably for resale. But getting it for $1, you can't go wrong. I absolutely love Planet of the Apes movies. And a lot of people kind of crapped on this originally because they're like, oh, they're not going to be in actual suits. The CGI is absolutely stunning. It is amazing. Now, of course, will we think that in 10, 15, 20 years? I don't know. But it looks pretty gosh darn real to me. Next up is a steelbook, Die Hard with a Vengeance, with Samuel L. Jackson and Jeremy Irons, a.k.a. Scar. This is the 2-disc set. This is probably one of my favorite versions of Die Hard. I know a lot of people, it doesn't get as much love, but Samuel L. Jackson makes the movie. He's hilarious in it. You know, he's in a situation where he's stuck being with John McClane, and he pretty much has to stick with him, or else I think his neighborhood in Harlem or the Bronx or wherever he's supposed to be is going to get blown up. So it's like he's been commandeered by the bad guy to be his sidekick. And of course he doesn't want to be there. And there's some racial overtones throughout in this, mostly on the Samuel L. Jackson character part. But anyways, it's a very good movie. I love it. And the steelbook is pretty rare to find, quite frankly. At least not in the wild. I mean, I'm sure you can find it on eBay or whatever. Next up is Wolverine, the Blu-ray edition. 2-disc set right there. Well, when I say it's really just a digital copy. But I like this one because it takes place in Japan. It's not great. It's not a great movie. I don't claim it to be great, but it's just more fun. It's a different take. If you know the Wolverine character, he spends a considerable amount of time in Japan in the comic books. Kind of like the Way of the Samurai type thing. And this movie kind of talks a little bit about it. There is some over-the-top silliness, but, it's a superhero movie, so what do you expect? The next one, and I couldn't pass it up. I haven't seen this movie since whenever it came out, probably in 94 or 5. Let's see if it says what year it came out. I don't see it where it says. But, man, when it says it's the bootiest edition, Booty Call, how can you not pick that up, dude? That is the gift that keeps on giving. You got the insert here, which I love. You got the big booty right there. Booty. It's bootylicious. But you got Jamie Foxx, Tommy Davidson, Vivica A. Fox, and I don't know who Tamala Jones is. That name doesn't strike a chord. But Vivica A. Fox, so hot, man, back in the day. Jamie Foxx, who went on to do some serious acting, like in the movie Ray and Django Unchained. Collateral, he was in. I think he did one of those like action movies with Gerard Butler about the turkey has fallen or the aardvark has been attacked or whatever. But it's a good one. Like Jamie Foxx here. If you don't remember, Jamie Foxx comes from um, the In Living Color days, and actually, out of everybody from that series, that sketch comedy show, aside from Jim Carrey, who his star has fallen quite a bit, he's probably the biggest star that came out of that, which you would never thought that when you first watched it. Next up is what is this? I forgot. Is it Pandemonium? What is this? I can't remember the name of this. Is it Pandorum? Pandorum? I don't know. What am I looking at here? Pandorum. I get maybe I'm mispronouncing it. Now I've seen this movie before, even though it sounds like it doesn't look like it by me struggling with pronouncing the title of the film. Pandorum. Pandorum. Oh my gosh. See, this is what happens when you get old. Pandorum. So anyways, guys, this movie is a science fiction movie. If I can actually get back on topic here. It's awesome. Dennis Quaid's in this. Ben Foster. It's a really good science fiction movie. It's super, super intense. Ben Foster's a great actor who's very underrated in my opinion. But yes, it says fear what happens next. That's the tagline there at the bottom. But it's from the creators who did Resident Evil. Don't let that fool you, because even though I'm not a huge Resident Evil fan, this movie is way better than those movies. It's very interesting. Very, very dark. Next up, a sealed copy of We Were Marshall with Matthew McConaughey. I haven't seen it. Don't know much about it. It's going to probably be one I'm just going to resell. Sealed copies of anything, Blu-rays, DVDs, whatever, usually fare a pretty decent penny online because, of course, it's not been opened. Next one up was Sniper. This is Sniper, I think, Part 2 with Tom Berenger. There you go, Tom Berenger. My mind, guys, is what's happening. Tom Berenger. I forgot that there's a whole series of these movies, guys. And so, anyways, I haven't seen this one either. Again, it's sealed, never been opened. So I thought I'd give it a shot. Trying to see if there's anybody else in this movie that... Bokeem Woodbine, he's good. He's really good at it. I forgot he is in this. But anyways, you got Sniper Part Dose. Another cool one that I picked up was Rooster Cogburn with John Wayne and Katharine Hepburn. So really popular one. I remember watching this with my dad quite a bit. You have this. I honestly don't remember all that much about it right now because I'm so flustered with my lack of ability to pronounce certain words and names right now. But anyways, Rooster Cogburn, it's one of John Wayne's later movies. I believe this is probably towards the end for him, honestly. I think it is. I think he passes away in 76, and this is in real life, not in the movies. And this came out in 75. So that sounds about right. So anyways, I wanted to watch this again because I've been holding on to all the widescreen editions. I've been holding on to. If I find them in full frame, I'll resell them. And this one's in widescreen. I got this in an eBay win. I forgot about this. But I've been trying to go and buy as much as I can of movies that are being canceled. And that's right, guys. Dumbo is being canceled on streaming services. So if you all remember, in the original Dumbo, before it was manipulated, the crows in Dumbo are a very stereotypical view, I guess, or like take on black culture, slang, whatever. And so it might be construed as inappropriate now or more sensitive. And so, like, streaming services, they're just taking it out. Like, it doesn't exist. And so I wanted to pick up Dumbo, and this hasn't been open, it's sealed, with the original dialogue and scenes still intact, because, again, they have removed it. And unless things change in our country, you're going to see a lot more of that moving forward. You're going to see a lot more movies and TV shows being canceled and just disappear off the face of the earth because it offends people. And I mean, let everybody be adults and make their own decisions, and let them, if it's a kid's movie, let the kids watch it. And then if you feel like as a parent you need to explain something, that's fine. But I remember watching the movie all the time, and I never was like, oh, the crows are racist. There's a racist tendencies in these crows. I mean, what 8-year-old kid, 5-year-old kid thinks that? Nobody does. It's a bunch of adults looking through the lens of, racism that you get that. I mean, nobody thinks that. Unless you're apparently somebody who's just looking for some problems, I guess. So anyways, I'm picking up stuff like that because they are starting to disappear off of any kind of streaming service. And I wouldn't be surprised if physical copies don't start, when they do keep producing physical copies of certain movies and TV shows, that they don't start editing them out of the movies and the shows. I mean, they've already done that with Dukes of Hazzard. Those, they don't even show that anymore at all because of the General Lee. Golden Girls have been certain episodes because they're wearing like those mud masks. Apparently that's considered racist because there's a scene when some black ladies come into their house, to their condo where they live, and there's this awkward moment. And I'm like, again, they're wearing mud masks. They're not wearing blackface. And it's obviously meant to play as a joke in a lighthearted way. It's not meant to them to be like purposely mean spirited. And but you have 30 Rock, where there's certain characters in 30 Rock who wear blackface in it. And of course, this is a comedy by extreme liberal TV Hollywood people with black actors and actresses in the show and all this stuff. But apparently that's now no longer acceptable. And then we can go on and on and on, Gone with the Wind and so on and so forth. So anyways, I'm trying to do my best to pick up some of these movies because I really do feel if things continue to go the direction they are, they're going to get canceled and they're just disappearing definitely off of digital formats and streaming services. And I wouldn't be surprised physical formats as well. All right, next up is Atomic Blonde with Charlize Theron. Absolutely awesome. This soundtrack's amazing. It's an 80s soundtrack. I think it takes place in like Germany, I want to say. It has James McAvoy in it as well, who's absolutely awesome. The director is the same director from John Wick, David Lynch, I think. It's a great movie. Charlize Theron is a complete BA in this, and I usually don't buy the whole female superhero like tough girl act in movies. It's just like, listen, if it's a female versus a male, and the guy is gonna just in most cases, if we're talking about a straight up brawling match, the guy's gonna end up winning. So it's just very hard for me to watch a movie where a girl's supposed to be like just kicking the crap out of everybody and being like the aggressor. It just doesn't sit well with reality. But this one, with all that being said, this is actually really well done. It's more gunplay and like nitty gritty, dirty, like hardcore battling. And they have her in situations that's like realistic. Like she outthinks the guys, she outmaneuvers the guys. She's in situations where you think she's not going to make it, and there's a mistake. It's not like she just walks in like Arnold Schwarzenegger and just starts whipping everybody's butt, which is what I kind of got the impression of, because it kind of came across that way in Mad Max that she did, whatever that was called. I can't remember, but it should have been called Mad Furiosa, because it wasn't even really a Mad Max movie. But that was kind of the way it was, and I'm kind of like, what is this? But this is a great movie. If you like a good action movie, I might upsell it too much, but it really is absolutely awesome. Highly recommend. If you've not seen Atomic Blonde, give it a shot. And then lastly, I can't believe I got this for $1. All 3 movies from the Ong Bak series. So you have all 3 with Tony Jaa. So I can pronounce Ong Bak, but I can't pronounce like Tom Berenger. But anyways, So here you go, guys. That's three movies. The best one, I believe, is On Bach 2, if I'm not mistaken. There's literally a scene. It is the only scene I've ever. It's the only time in cinema history where I believe you see a man. It's like this huge, like European looking white man. Is like 6'8" or whatever. He picks up a baby elephant and throws the elephant out the window. It's like crazy, absolutely crazy. I mean, like you hear the baby elephant's like "Meow," as it gets thrown out the window. And of course, it causes Tony Jaa's character like lose his mind because he's like an elephant lover, like the Buddhist thing, and they establish that he's like kind of like an elephant whisperer in the first movie where he walks through the jungles with the elephants, and they are like one and one, like simpatico together. And to really piss off Tony Jaa's character, this like big old behemoth wrestler looking dude grabs the elephant and throws it out the window. So, if nothing else, to watch elephant throwing, definitely check out On Bach if you've not seen it, guys. So, anyways, let me know what you think about the movies. You've seen some of the movies. Give me your thoughts about them. What do you think about censorship? I'm thinking about doing an actual video where I talk about censorship directly and just really get into the brass tacks of it, a little bit of the history of it, and how other countries have done it, and how a lot of other countries have moved away from it, but America is now going towards it, of censorship, which, regardless of how you believe political-wise, censorship is a bad thing. It is totally bad because who's controlling it? And what happens when it's something that you don't think should be censored, but now those people are in power and they want to censor it and control it? It's all fun and games when it's something that you don't like being censored, then you're okay with it. Or something you like being censored, then you're fine with it because you're like, yeah, you shouldn't have to hear that or watch that or see that or be exposed to that. But what happens when it's the tables are turned and it's something that you want to view, watch, listen to, and that's been taken away from you? So censorship across the board is bad. There's no right or wrong. There should be nobody controlling what other people watch, listen to, view, participate in, whatever. Everybody's made those decisions for themselves or for their families. And it doesn't need to be Big Brother, government, media, whatever, Silicon Valley making those decisions for us. So, anyways, guys, until next time, peace.